to Influential Sports, where passion meets precision. Yes, I'm your host Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. Make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. This is episode 7 of We Upon, a series where I fantasy book different wrestlers to win different titles across many different promotions. And for this upload, it's going to be a TNA one. As you see in the title, as you see in the thumbnail, it's going to be about Kelani Jordan and who should have thrown her to become the next TNA Knockouts champion. Obviously, she hasn't had it too long, and I don't think she needs to have it super long, especially being a NXT wrestler holding the TNA title. But I think, but I put together a perfect timeline for her to lose it at one of their events going into next year, because I do think she should be champion at the end of the year. I don't think it's a need to change. I know she got the title match and a triple threat coming up next week. I think she should retain in that match. And then it's going to be a different tournament. It's going to be a tournament to determine who faces her. But I'll break all that down in the video. But first, getting started with what Kelani Jordan is going to be doing after November. Because I didn't really plan out November for Kelani Jordan, because I'm figuring it's still going to be stuck between TNA and NXT in December. Even though Kelani is a heel, I would have her go against Tessa Blanchard. This could be TNA's one final attempt to try to make Tessa Blanchard likable. It's very hard to do, and they'll try it by promoting her YouTube channel and stuff. And it got a lot of views, the video did, but it's like people still don't care. They still don't like Tessa Blanchard. So this could be her one chance to try to make her likable, with Kelani being the outsider holding the title. And even if that goal isn't accomplished, you still accomplish the other goal of building up Kelani as a top star within two different promotions. Because her being as young as she is and getting the win against a former multi-time world champion, that'd be huge for her career and for her title run. I think them working together could be really cool, especially for Kelani Jordan. I think it benefits Kelani Jordan either way. She should retain, of course. I don't think she needs to lose it, since Kelani is a heel now. She needs to lose it to a face, so I'm going to talk about later in the video and talk about how we get there. But that's pretty much that's what I would have for next PUB. That's what I do in December. That's what I do in December for Kelani Jordan. Then most of this is going to be focused on Kelani's title reign, and then I get into Sade and how she's going to be implemented into this and the tournament that I'm putting together. Because all 8 women, they're going to be doing stuff leading up to February 19th when the tournament is going to start. But I won't be explaining everything they're going to be doing, and then I'll just break down the tournament bracket and why I picked those specific people and their purpose of being there. So for now, we're just going to focus on Kelani Jordan's title reign. Then once we get to February, it's once we'll have the tournament be started. And then in January, I will have Kelani Jordan have a feud with Myla Grace, one of the younger up-and-coming talents in TNA. I will have her win a match on January 1st episode of Impact versus Stephanie Lander. How she wins, I mean, I don't think it really matters. She can win. She can win clean. Like on Mance Warner, no involvement. He's not there for whatever reason. Have her win. Then she calls out Kelani Jordan post-match, and Kelani responds basically saying that she isn't ready for that moment yet. And then that's what it is. It don't end in no brawl and nothing like that. Not for that week, because you got to mix it up for each weeks. Then January 8th on that episode of Impact, I will have Kelani defeat Myla Grace's friend and tag team partner Harley Hudson in a non-title one-on-one match. Then attack her post-match, which causes Myla Grace to come out there and make the save. And then segment ends. So January 15th Impact, Myla Grace, she challenges Kelani Jordan because she's tired of the disrespect and doesn't like how she beat down her friend after the match was already over. Kelani accepts, and then at Genesis, which I'm predicting to be January 18th, since it was around mid-January earlier this year, I'm predicting that's what it's going to be again. So I would have Kelani retain versus Myla Grace to continue her reign, but you're also building another talent in Myla Grace and Harley Hudson, because I think they could be good tag team champions. So if you having them both in a feud with the world champion, like sometimes tag teams feuding with the world champion doesn't really work, but for Myla Grace and Harley Hudson, I feel like it can in TNA, because it's going to be a good way to build them up as a tag team, because I do think it's going to be a tag team that splits up at some point in the year. Then January 2nd Impact, I will have Kelani Jordan cut a promo just celebrating her win. And then this one, Heather by Elegance comes out there and she wants to avenge Ash by Elegance by getting her title back that she never actually lost. So then January 29th comes around, that episode of Impact, and Kelani She tells Heather that she can get a title shot, but she has to beat her tag team partner in by elegance to get that match. Had a match the same night. Heather wins. And then February 5th, it's no February TNA events for pay-per-views. It wasn't this year, so I'm not going fantasy book any for next year. Then I just have Kelani Jordan defeat Heather by elegance on February 5th Impact main event. It'll be a good match. I feel like they have good chemistry, and I think with that, Heather and them, they can start telling the split between them two. And then February 12th Impact is Santino is going to announce a tournament to determine Kelani Jordan's challenger, and Kelani is ready for the challenge because she thinks it's best that the women fight it out to see who faces her, and she don't plan on wrestling much during this tournament. And then it's going to be the winner gets a shot at Kelani for the TNA title at TNA Sacrifice March 15th, which it was around mid-March last year, so I'm just assuming once again. And then, so the 8 women that I have in the tournament, it's going to be, and I got to get the bracket pulled back up because I forgot to pull that up because I got my other computer open. But for it's going to be an 8-woman tournament. Santino's going to announce it. That's the fantasy booking. And then these 8 women, they're all vying for a shot to beat Kelani Jordan's number one contender for Kelani Jordan. So I have Mara Sade, who's going to be the main person that we talk about here. Now, she has history with Kelani, working with her in NXT and previously with TNA. They just teamed up together. And she wants to, not only, one reason she wants to teach her a lesson, she wants to bring back the old level of Kelani Jordan. She doesn't like this new side of Kelani that's being displayed. And she wants to win a singles title for the first time in her career and establish herself as the top knockout, something that she wasn't able to do in WWE, win a singles title. I don't even know if she won a tag title. She might have, but if I'm not mistaken, she hasn't. So what a way to establish her by having her be in the tournament to win. And then Tasha Steelz, who is her opponent, I have her in the tournament as well. She thinks, one of the vets of TNA, thinks Kelani is a spoiled brat, but she also wants to show how dominant Order 4 can be, led by Mustafa Ali and the Great Hands. If you remember from one of my earlier videos, I fantasy booked the Great Hands to winning the tag title. So they had tag titles at this time, and then Tasha Steelz was going after the Knockouts Championship, and then Mustafa Ali, he could win one of the singles titles, maybe the international title from Steve Macklin. That's how you can really establish them. Or Mustafa Ali could just be calling all the shots and just winning matches. He don't got to win a title to establish dominance and be relevant, because he's still doing that without a title at the moment. So that's the first round matchup I have for them. Zaya Brookside, young up-and-comer, trying to make a name for herself. That's what she's been trying to do. And late Jean Lee, her tag team partner, wasn't able to get the job done, so she sees this as an opportunity to be able to get that revenge for her tag partner. Victoria Crawford, as one of the vets of wrestling in general, I don't really think she would serve overall purpose. Like, it'd be similar to Zaya Brookside, her wanting to get revenge for Tessa Blanchard. That's still a team, but I think this could be more so Victoria Crawford just trying to mix it up with the younger talent, having her go against Zaya Brookside and Mara Sade in the tournament. Then I'm going to break down the tournament winners in a second, so I kind of spoiled it. But having her go against people like that help with the younger talent, because she don't have to win matches. She don't win a lot of matches. Her win-loss record is, I'm pretty sure it's pretty even since she's been in TNA. Like, she don't mind just helping put talent over. And then Danny Luna and Jody Drett, they're both in here for the same purpose. The former tag team partners, and so formerly in a tag team, but they want to establish themselves as single stars, and they want to be able to bring back the gold to TNA and say that they were the ones to bring that gold back. Rosemary hasn't been champion in a few years because Jordan Grace and Naomi, Masha Slamovich, JC Jane, Kelani Jordan have been the past 3 champions, and it's been a while since Rosemary's been in that spotlight, so she wants to get back to the top, wants to get there once again and prove that she isn't washed up. You could create a narrative, you could create a story within the upcoming months with people. You could have, like, it's industry plants. You could have somebody within TNA saying that Rosemary is washed up, and she wants to run through the tournament to prove that she isn't, or she wants to be in the tournament to prove that she isn't. And then I have Alicia Edwards there, because I think with the work that the system does, like, they all contribute in different ways. Like, everybody can talk, everybody can wrestle, so I think this would be something good for Alicia Edwards to do. And obviously TNA, the system wanted to lead the charge for TNA to get gold back when Moose faced Trick Williams. So why not try to do that similar story with Alicia Edwards being in this tournament to try to do the same thing. And now with that being said, and then that basically explains everybody's purpose. The February 26th episode of Impact, this is when the tournament will start. 2 first-round matchups. February 19th. February 19th is when the tournament will start. It's 2 first-round matchups. I will have Victoria Crawford defeat Zara Brookside. I think Zara Brookside would be a cool opportunity for her, but she just isn't ready yet. Like, her and Late Team League, they're going to get some runs in the tag team division, but I think it would be a cool opportunity for her to have that one-on-one match. And then Daniel Luna versus Jody Threat, I would have them running back again, but I wouldn't do no 50-50 booking. This is Jody Threat's one chance to get revenge, and against Daniel Luna, as Daniel Luna already beat her, but this is a justification of them. They're in the tournament, so it makes sense that they're in a match together again. But I would have Daniel Luna get the win and her be 2-0 against Jody Threat. Their way is no need to run back another match with them. It's 1-1. We got to do this 50-50 booking thing. You don't always have to do that, because even in the match that Jody Threat lost, last week, she still looked strong in the match. She still had a good showing. So she could lose, take 2 losses to her former tag team partner, and reinvent herself. She realizes that she isn't ready for that spotlight. And I realized why Daniel Luna has surpassed me and why she's upgraded to be where she's at. In that same episode, I would do a sit-down interview with Kelani Jordan, have that backstage. Unlike the promo she's cut since she's been healed, so I think that would be perfect for her to do a sit-down interview after those matches wrap up and just talk about the tournament, talk about what she's seen. Now February 26th, the other 2 first-round matchups, I would have Mara Sade defeat Tasha Steelz in that matchup. I think it's pretty obvious. Obviously, you don't see it in you see it in the title, but this is how Mara Sade's booking is going. She would defeat Victoria Crawford. Like I said, Victoria Crawford, I'm sure she would have no problem putting over Zara Brookside even, but I think it would make sense for her to advance in the tournament and face off against Mara Sade. You have 2 black women in the semifinals going against each other, and I think this would be wrong one. No, February 26th. I'm looking at the March 5th. February 26th Impact is the other 2 first-round matchups where Mara Sade defeats Tasha Steelz and advances to face Victoria Crawford that following week. But yeah, I think Tasha Steelz, with nobody being at her side, with order for not being there, Mustafa Ali having such confidence in her that she can win on her own, that's what's going to end up costing her. And then I would have Alicia Edwards defeat Rosemary, and the washed-up allegations starting to look true. It's starting to look true with that. So I would have Rosemary lose in the first round and continue telling the story of her being washed up. This may be another cool fantasy booking video I could do. It wouldn't be part of the Op series, but a storyline where Rosemary is washed up and then she eventually gets back to the top. I think that could be really cool, and I think that could work out. And then on that episode, I would have Kelani Jordan have a non-title match versus Lola Vice, as Kelani is backstage and she runs into Lola Vice, and Kelani gets confused as to why she's there, considering that she called her a traitor. Then they have a non-title match and Kelani Jordan gets the win, really to just keep her fresh for a match that she has coming up in the next 2 weeks. And then now March 5th, the 2 second-round matchups, both of those would take place. I would have Mara Sade defeat Victoria Crawford in that match. I accidentally spoiled that earlier, but I think Mara Sade, it makes the most sense for her to get a win, the younger and fresher competitor of the 2. And I think she's going to have her best momentum going into that. And Victoria Crawford needed help from Tessa Blanchard to win. And then Zara Brookside, she attacks Tessa Blanchard backstage on this episode, eliminating her for getting involved. Then Mara Sade is able to take care of business versus Victoria Crawford. And I'll have Daniel Luna defeat Alicia Edwards to the Spitfire. I have Daniel Luna continue to push her to the top, continue to make her look like the Beast, looks like the dominant one out of the group. Not that Jody Threat looks weak, but Daniel Luna shows that she's upgraded, while Jody Threat is just in the same spot. She's stuck, and then she'll be advancing to the finals. And then Mara, Sade, and Danny Luna would cut a promo to close the show, to close that Impact. And then on March 12th, Impact, the first 30 minutes of the show, that's when I had a final matchup. And it's 2 segments in these 30 minutes. It's not just one whole segment. I would have Mara, Sade, and Danny Luna have their match, their finals match. Mara Sade gets the win. She defeats Danny Luna to advance to the finals. I think with the push that Danny Luna got in the tournament, going to the finals is a good sign in the right direction. That in the future she can be a world champion, and we think the heel work that she's doing is going to be deserving, and she's going to earn that in the future. Because I think, and I do genuinely believe that, but what she's just played, like I do think that she's really elevated and upgraded above Jody Threat, who feels like she's in the same spot, which that might be something she's fine with, but I would like to see Jody Threat level up a little bit. But with this tournament, I would have Danny Luna elevate at least to the finals, but she loses to a Mara Sade who hasn't lost all year. I would have Mara Sade go on a crazy winning streak from January 1st, because that's the first episode of, from January 1st to this tournament. I would have Mara Sade on a crazy winning streak to prove that she is the knockout. She's the best in the women's division. And then I have a promo between, then the match can be around 21 minutes, 21, 22 minutes, and then you can have a 8-minute promo between Mara Sade and Kelani Jordan. That's how you start the show, to build anticipation, to close the tournament and build anticipation for the match, which will happen March 15th at TNA Sacrifice, which, like I said, isn't confirmed, but that's likely what the date will be around, somewhere around there. And I will have Mara Sade become the TNA Knockouts champion, defeating Kelani Jordan, get up 25 minutes. I think then with 25 minutes will be an amazing match. And then, if anything, with how hot Mara Sade has been at this point, and with Kelani Jordan being champion for around 5 months at this point as an NXT wrestler, I would have this main event sacrifice. I would have this be the main event match. This is how I would close the show with these two, and I would have Mara Sade get the win, formerly known as Ricard Jackson. And I think it's the perfect story, because it's not, I don't think Mara Sade came to TNA not to win anything, not to win any type of gold. And I know she didn't go there to win tag team gold. And I think this is going to be a clean match. There's no interference. She just wins clean. And you don't even got to turn Kelani Jordan face. You could just, I mean, maybe you could turn her back face, but I would definitely have them shake hands after the match. And if they decide, if WWE wants to turn her back face, I would turn her face, but have her still be a serious character. She don't got to go back to exactly what she was as North American champion. But post that, when she was when she lost the Fatal Influence in the Gauntlet match, just portray a more serious character, like be a babyface with an edge. I think that'd be perfect. That'd be a perfect way to end her heel run with somebody she has history with and somebody she teamed with, who accepted her in the TNA locker room when the NXT girls didn't accept her. I would have Mara Sade close that chapter, become the new TNA Knockouts champion, have Kelani lose, and then call up Kelani Jordan to the main roster, have her on SmackDown. After she's done in TNA, she needs to be on SmackDown. Just like how Trick should be on the main roster now, he don't need to be on NXT anymore. Once Trick lost the TNA title, he should have been on Raw and SmackDown. But after this whole story is concluded, I would have Mara Sade's winning streak continue probably to like around Slammiversary or something like that, maybe even further. But she came there to make an impact, and this is how I would book Mara Sade to win the title. And Kelani Jordan, she is doing great. I'm enjoying this current character. It don't got to be too long, but I think 5 months in this character, that's not too bad. I think that'll be perfect. So yeah, with that being said, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what y'all thought of this fantasy booking. Comment what y'all thought of this fantasy booking, and share for others to see.